smiled at them and said she told me so. Everybody, 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 everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know. Everybody asked me how I know. I smiled at them and said she told me so. I know.
Got him! Got him! What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Monday. That's right, back on the grind. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you had an awesome weekend. Having a look at what's going on with Bitcoin, we're currently down 0.05%. So that's it, guys. Throw in the towel. We're going home. Not exactly. What's really been happening is ever since we broke out of the wedge, we fell down and we've been going sideways ever since. So upside down Bart Simpson? Could be, possibly. But I have noticed a lot of negative sentiment ever since we have been having that trouble breaking above that $12,500 level or even just maintaining above 12K. Well, you've seen a lot more of the bears coming out, right? But you are noticing that altcoins are doing quite well today. So I do want to talk about that. I want to discuss, there we go, Bitcoin is at 0%. Do you see how indecisive the markets are, people? So what I want to talk about today is something that Bitcoin actually just did that it hasn't done in over a year and a half, which I would consider to be incredibly bullish. Look, we're back in the green again, guys, okay? So we're going to talk about that. Also the fact that Goldman Sachs issued a letter out to their clients basically urging them to buy Bitcoin. We're going to discuss that as well. Also want to talk about 5 reasons why this next bull run is going to be the most amazing bull run we've ever seen. And if that sounds good to you, well, you know what to do. Also, if it's your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel and you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? We do this every single day, and today is the Ledger Nano S giveaway. All you got to do is drop a comment on literally any video throughout the course of the week, and you are eligible, but we will have today's giveaway at the end of the video. So, before we move on though, I do want to say good news for New Zealand, an official ruling. The tax authorities in New Zealand have declared that paying in Bitcoin for wages or salaries is legally binding. So congratulations, New Zealand, for taking one step forward for the rest of us. Now, having a look at Bitcoin dominance, it's still sitting around 68.6%, which is basically where we were at yesterday. However, we did pull back. We were sitting much higher. Now, having a look at the Bitcoin comparative, you're still noticing that you have some altcoins that are currently outpacing Bitcoin. In fact, BitUSD is up 106%. What the heck is this? So anyway, having a look at some of these gainers today, BitUSD, oh my goodness, guys, $21,255 worth of volume. Definitely, we should all just rush in and buy that. No, we shouldn't. We also have Maximine Coin, Wixlar up again, Elastos, Metaverse, Engine, Ardor, Hypercast, Energy, and Nano. So that is the situation. However, I do want to talk about the fact that we have not exactly seen a good weekend as far as the capital inflows is concerned. You could see Binance had $20 million in, $30 million out. Bitstamp, 17 million in, 19 million out. Bittrex, 2 million in, 3 million out. So you could see right here, a lot more money was leaving the exchanges than was entering the exchanges, especially with BitMEX. Well, that was bad. 6 million in, 16 million out. Probably has a lot to do with all the FUD around the CFTC situation. But that being said, you are noticing a relatively neutral stance among most people in cryptocurrency. In fact, the only inflows looked like they were stable coins for the most part. So that being said, also you'll notice that the fear and greed index is totally neutral at 48. So what the heck is going on here today? Well, essentially Bitcoin traders have been split into 3 groups. The first are the bears, okay? They're calling for $8,500 to $7,500 levels, looking to potentially close those CME gaps, right? Second group of people currently right now are the ones that think we are due for a lengthy consolidation period where we're basically just going to be bouncing back and forth between $9,000 and $12,000, maybe all the way up until the halving. And the final group of people are the ones that think we are still in a parabolic trend, and this is nothing more than a little blip, and we are still on track for $13,500 or higher. Let me know which camp you fall in. But having a look at what's going on right now, currently at Coin Farm, you're noticing neutral, 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 mild sell, and scrolling down here, the longs and the shorts are basically split down the middle. what the heck is going on today? So we are going to dive in. We're going to have a look. You can see right here, we are still trapped in this little, it's sort of this weird area. We're stuck between this support and resistance. The resistance being around 12,000, the support being 11,000. So basically we're stuck in this $11,000, $12,000 range, right? And we are coming to the end of this wedge, which if we stay in it would actually take us all the way to the end of this month. Now, is it going to take us that long for a breakout or breakdown? Most likely not. Bitcoin tends to be an impatient asset. But like you can see over here, Josh Rager pointed out, currently under weekly resistance, short-term support flipped back to resistance on lower time frames, closes above 11,474 would be the highest weekly close in 2019. Now, this came out yesterday, and the level that we were looking for has been closed. In fact, we closed a weekly candle at $11,568. And the reason that this is so bullish is because we have not done this since way back on the week of January 22nd of 2018. Okay, we came very close in the week of February 26th, but really we did not close higher than that basically back since January 22nd. In fact, you've seen some of the bears kind of change their tune a little bit. Financial Survivalism, if you follow him on Twitter, he says his original target was 8,000 if Bitcoin broke the 2-week bull trend line. After further analysis, I'm adjusting that to $8,775. Now, that still is a very bearish outlook, but you can see even the bears are kind of bringing their numbers up a little bit because this is definitely something that poses a pretty good signal for Bitcoin. Now, the other thing I wanted to point out too, you can see we are sitting above all of these major moving averages, also sitting above the 21 exponential average on the weekly, which is very important, which is a very key level to stay above. And you also will notice that we are putting in another giant wedge, which looks like it wants to close around the first week of September. So we are still not out of the waters, but I wouldn't quite become a bear just yet, okay? Now, having a look, we are still following this parabolic trend. We have stayed above it, okay? Currently, we do have the resistance of this middle trend line, which once we get above it, would most likely provide support again, like it did back here when we had the high all the way up to $14,000. But the thing that I think is the most short-term bullish is not just the fact that we had that weekly close, but I want to talk about the fact that we were stomped out by it's not really the neckline, but it's the top of where we had the Adam and Eve pattern. Now, you guys know right here, I spoke about this, right? We had the Adam right here, and then we had the Eve, and as soon as we broke this, we popped up, and currently we are respecting that trend line. So I would say that if we stay above that $10,900, $11,000 level, and we don't fall below that, then that is a very bullish sign, and we might just be working our way out to the end of this wedge. Like I said, once again, this is showing September 3rd. Most of them are pointing to the beginning of September, but I do want to also mention that we do have this handle on the Adam and Eve pattern, which, as I've told you before, when price breaks out of this region, it often moves up in a strong trend. Okay, so going back here, the question is, are we still consolidating on that sideways handle and waiting for that breakout? That's possible. We could still be doing the consolidation of the handle of the Adam and Eve breakout, right? So that's something I wanted to just mention. And as we have been looking at these levels, we talked about the lower levels, but we are getting closer to the end of this wedge. And if we break out and we're able to get above 12,000 and above that $12,300 level, some people are calling for $12,500, then I think we would be seeing a lot more blue skies ahead. And the one other thing I want to point out is we do not have a lot of resistance above these levels. In fact, you can see the VPVR gets very, very low. The first level it starts to drop off is $11,800, right? And then it has another level around 13,300. Now, there is some trading above 13,300 because we had this back here in the 2017, 2018 kind of, bull into bear, right? But after this level of about 15,400, there is pretty much nothing there, and we are just full on ready for price discovery. So I would say that we're still in an upwards trend, guys. And having a look at even the 12-month forecast that Philp had put out, you could see there is this giant sort of, curve that's happening right here. But he was predicting that we would go possibly a little bit lower into consolidation. And if I actually hit the play button, you could see that we've gone much higher than even Philp was anticipating. So we're still doing very well. Bitcoin is still very bullish. And quite honestly, it's still much, much higher than most people even anticipated it would have ever even been at this point. So I wouldn't quite go full on bear mode right now, but I do want to talk about some bullish things, being 5 reasons why the next bull market will be the biggest yet. And I think once again, we need to just zoom out, stop looking at the charts every 5 seconds, definitely get off those lower time frames, and fundamentally realize that this train, it's left the station. Number 5, we have the Bitcoin halvening, right? This is arguably the single most important event for Bitcoin, and that's happening in May of 2020, with the halvening event set to occur, thereby cutting mining rewards in half. The supply of Bitcoin will also become much more scarce, and statistically, if we look at the charts, this has always been followed by a major price increase. Number 4, gold is rising. Bitcoin's actually been following gold's lead for the last 3 months, a relative rarity in this market. The two assets have been lockstep, likely due to the fact that both are seen as a hedge against traditional finance. As Washington Post reports, the supposed randomness between the two markets has all but ceased, which is a positive indicator for both gold and Bitcoin. Number 3, Libra. I know, right? We haven't spoken about that in a while. Say what you want about Libra, but without a doubt, it's been a really great publicity for Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency markets in general. Not only has Libra made blockchain legitimate in the eyes of the public, but it also ensures that cryptocurrencies are here to stay. Number 2, we have the trade war and stocks that have been declining. The recent devaluation of the Chinese yuan has caused ripples in the stock market, with major stocks nosediving this week. The end result has been panic, and the possibility of a trade agreement between the US and China seems like a foregone conclusion, since Bitcoin seems to be negatively correlated with the S&P 500 and other major indexes. This momentary instability does seem kind of bullish for Bitcoin. And number 1, inflationary concerns. In the past 2 years, we've seen hyperinflation take place in Venezuela, Iran, and other countries as well. So it's no wonder that these same nations are also looking towards cryptocurrencies. Moreover, it seems more and more likely that we will see a troubled nation turn to cryptocurrencies to stabilize their economy. And if that wasn't bullish enough for you guys, how about investment bank Goldman Sachs has recommended that investors should capitalize on the current price and buy the Bitcoin dip. You can see right here. Now, I don't know why they are omitting weekends on this chart. It looks like they're just looking at futures. I personally do not believe in omitting weekends. I think that makes no sense. I think because Bitcoin trades 24/7, that if you're going to be analyzing Bitcoin, you should be including the weekends in your charts. So taking that with a grain of salt, you can see the bank said that based on its Elliott wave analysis, that Bitcoin would find support around $11,000. Currently, we are still above 11,000. And that there's a scope for a move higher to about 12,916 and then 13,971. Any such retracement from 12,916 to 13,971 should be viewed as an opportunity to buy on weaknesses, as long as it doesn't retrace lower than $9,000, $9,084. So essentially, if it goes lower than $9,000, run for the hills. As long as it stays above $9,000, buy the effing dip, okay? That's basically straight from Goldman Sachs. However, as Suzu pointed out, what's more surprising, that Goldman Sachs has a bullish target for Bitcoin, that they have any target at all, or that they use Elliott wave theory. I'm personally most surprised they can't be bothered to use a chart that includes weekend price action. So there you go. But once again, let's just look at the big picture and realize how early we are, all right? I know a lot of you have been in these markets for years, right? If you've been following this channel, you know this channel's been around for almost 2 years soon. So yeah, we've definitely been looking at these charts nonstop. But like Crypto Bull says, how many of your in real life friends or family have owned crypto? And you can see right here, there were 3,204 votes, with 83% saying less than 10%. So I'm curious, how many of your friends and family in real life that you know personally have bought crypto? Maybe they don't own it anymore, maybe they sold it, but how many have even tried to own it just in general, right? And I think you would be quite surprised that it's not that many. And what I'm trying to get at here is we are still so early. So even if you're accumulating Bitcoin at these prices and you think that it's too late, well, I beg to differ. And I think the results pretty much speak for themselves. Now, let's get on to some coin news and let's get on out of here because it's Monday and we got places to be. So it looks like Coinbase is now removing support for Zcash for its UK customers, which is weird because they said it is 100% compatible with UK regulations, but accordingly, customers in the country will have to either convert their Zcash into another crypto or will have to move it to another exchange. And this is according to an email that was sent out. They say, you have until August 26th. If you choose to do absolutely nothing and you just leave it there, well, then they are automatically going to liquidate your balance for you on August 26th, and you will have GBP in your wallet. So that's the situation moving forward as far as that's concerned. But good news, South Korean messaging giant Kakao is set to launch later this year. According to them, an immensely easy to use cryptocurrency wallet called Clip. They say once you access Clip with your social network profile, especially your Kakao Talk ID, you send and receive digital assets with your Kakao friends. Further, you do not have to jot down your cryptic private key. Per the post, the wallet will be using a unique account system that allows users to access the wallet with a simple passcode while still giving them access to their own private keys so they can control their own funds. The wallet, it adds, will also support other types of digital assets, including non-fungible tokens as well. And finally, ending on some good news, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy has officially signed Bill S-2297, which allows for the creation of a blockchain Initiative Task Force. The group will be commissioned to study use cases for blockchain, so the task force will be responsible for assessing the usability of blockchain on state and local level. Specifically, the bill outlines a few key areas where blockchain will be most useful, including medical records, banking, property auctions, and land ownership. The bill was first drafted in March of 2019 and passed the Assembly unanimously. So that is some pretty bullish news moving forward. Now, we need to give away our Ledger Nano S. We actually had 8 videos last week because we had the video with Crypto Savvy. So we have to come over here, 1 through 8, generate number 3. All right. So 1, 2, 3. So that is Bitcoin Critical Zone right here. Let me just copy this. Go over to our random comment generator. Let's see how many comments we have today. All right. We have about 690 unique comments. Drum roll, please. Don't be fooled. A lot of big boys are accumulating from the weak hands hodl. Peter Tran, I couldn't agree with you more. You know, every time Bitcoin takes these dips, there's always that panic. Everyone always says we're going lower. And then what does it always do? It always reverses and goes back higher. And everyone always says, damn, I wish I bought more. So exactly, Peter Tran. So you are the winner of the Ledger Nano S. You know what to do. Just head over to the official you can go to the Telegram group where I am an admin. You can hit me up on Telegram, or you could just send me an email at the official About section in my actual YouTube page. Okay? So that is basically it for today. Sounds good. Thank you so much for everybody who came back to the channel, everyone who has been liking, subscribing, commenting. Make sure you smash the likes, turn on the bell notification, join the Telegram group if you haven't yet. It's totally free. And once again, thank you to everyone that has been supporting the